Yeah, first of all, thank you for sharing your ideas for your recruitment activities this morning. I thought they were really, really good. Uh, a number of you mentioned the fact that you were thinking of using Genially. So I thought I would just put together a really short video for you just to give you an idea of some of the basics. Please go and also look at the presentation I did at the festival on virtual field trips, because that gives you another site. But I'm just going to create something really simple just to show what Genially can actually do in terms of its overall functionality and some of the things you need to think about before you start building it. So very simply, you go into Genially and you come into your dashboard and it says create a Genially, and you come into this area, and basically what you want here is a interactive image, although there are other things that you could use as well. So I'm going to go to interactive image and I'm going to click interactive image there. So we're going to start. So first of all, before you start using Genially, what you need to think about is a storyboard. So you need to plan out effectively what the different elements of the Genially experience are going to be. You need to think about the content. You need to think about the text that you want to put in, the instructions, and the nature of the information that you want to include. And you need to compile that first in a separate Word document. What you don't want to be really doing is in Genially going, oh, I now need to write this, and I need to find this, and I need to find this image, and so on. It's best to try and pull together all the ingredients that you want to use at the very beginning and have them so you can actually just drop them in as you go along. And then think about the navigation, because in effect, Genially is almost like a little mini website, but you've got to ensure that whoever's your learner or your audience can get from one slide to the next. So predominantly what you're going to do in Genially, I would think, is a slightly more sequential approach, that one slide leads into the next, and then possibly a button that also takes you home. So they're really easy to do. It's quite intuitive. So I'm going to just show you how to do that. So I'm starting off with, because it's an interactive image, I need to have that background image I was going to do. So I'm just going to click here to find an image, and I've pulled one down just to keep it local. And this is the Portsmouth Library. So I want to select that and click accept. And what I want to do is I'm going to use that up. So I'm just selecting the area that I want to use, and I'm going to accept. And that will just do its business for a second. And there is my background for my Genially. And already it's put some indicative buttons on here. So this is what we're going to get. So we're going to use the interactive elements and tools that are on the left-hand side in the here. So, for example, let's just quickly add something really on. So I just want to click a button in. So these buttons have already been added, this purple button. That all they've done here is gone to the left-hand side and clicked on a button, and that's automatically found its way onto the photograph. And basically, through this button, we can control what we want to do next. So if we click on the click button, it tells us what kind of interactivity do we actually want. So a tool tip here is that you hover on it, and a small amount of content will come up. You can click on it, and a more specific window will open, and it lets us put more information in. So if I click on that to show you, you can start typing in here, welcome to the, sorry, I can't type, library. But what I could do here, if I want to expand in a little bit, I've then got all the formatting options to edit that text. But what I can also do is put a hyperlink in that takes me out somewhere else. I could insert an image. So, for example, if I did that again, let's just choose that. Again, I'll do the same picture again, but that would just show. I can drop that image into there again, and I can add some more text to go with that. If I wanted to, I could also drop in a video. So I would need a URL, a YouTube URL. I would type it in there, and the video would show. Excuse me. Right. So you can keep adding on there. The other thing you've also got is a code view. So if you create something and it's got some embed code, what you can actually do is take something else that you've done elsewhere and drop it in here. So for example, if you've been playing with a Padlet, or you've been playing with perhaps some H5P. Actually, I'm not sure the H5P would work because that needs to be on a server. But certainly you can embed other elements in here, and very simply you just click save. And I go preview. And if I now click on that button, you'll see that that window opens and I can add in the text. That one I'm not sure is doing it. So I've got some text associated to that one. So I want to go back and I click edit. And what you see is that you can then start playing around with the buttons and what you might want them to do. So if I want to delete that, I'll take that one. I just highlight that and click delete, and that's gone. So I've got my functionality there that I can actually pull in. Now, if I go there again, actually, I'll save that one and I'll add a new one in. So if I click, I'll do this one. This is to go right. Now, this right one, what I want to do here is go to the next slide. So I would go, click on that, click that, and I would click this one where it says go to page. Now, at the moment, I've only got one page in my Padlet. So I want to add another page. I go click add page, and I can create other pages in here depending. It doesn't have to be an interactive page. It could just be a PowerPoint slide page. It could be a chronology slide. It could be a whole page video. Really just depends on the whole nature of what you actually want to put in. So I'm just going to click add. So if I now go back to page 1 and I click on that now and go, if I click on that and then go edit, that allows me to now go to page 2, save. So if I now go to page 2 and I would add in a picture, I would now need to have to put in the corner each of one of those like that. And that one now would have to be go to page 1. So I can first of all start doing. Now what you might want to do is leave a gap, and then you put your home button in there like that. And then you click, and that would have to go back to page 1 as well. So you've just got to make sure that you've got adequate navigation in, that people can actually find their way around. The other thing you've also got is that you could add an audio background. So you could do an audio welcome over the top when people get started. You can also add in text. So if I want to add a title text, again, that just drops in. If you can use PowerPoint or Publish or whatever, that goes in like that. Actually, let's try this. And I can just drag those over like that. Again, just as if you would be, and I can select all of that. And I've got the options there to change the color and change the background and so on. So you can do whatever so you can really make it look quite professional looking as you actually go through. Okay. And then you can add additional text. And again, there's templates here to help you to do that. You have to upload your images in here first, and then you drag them across. So if I, again, show you on that one, if I just pick that library video there, open, that drops it in here. So if you're using images regularly, it saves them here. Now that's just going to repeat. And then very simply, I just select that and drag that over in, and then I can label that up, and I can do action settings on that as well. You've also then got kind of like lots of different resources. So you've got all sorts of icons and shapes that you can use. You've got graphs that you can put in as well. And all sorts of other bits and bobs. But it's the interactive elements that help to start with. Smartbox, don't remember that. Insert. You can insert recordings. If I want to go to a video, I can type in my YouTube. So let me just go to... let's see if I can find a quick YouTube video. Let's have a little bit of Star Wars, shall we? So I'm just going to copy the URL from that.
We love helping you find the perfect.
There we go back to the editor, and we just type in that there, and that goes in. So at the moment, that video is going to see, I haven't hidden it in, so that video will now show when the students actually come onto that page. What I could do alternatively is if I go into a hover button and click that and go window and go video there and do that like that, insert and click save. And how do I do preview? You'll see that that video is now showing live and they just click on it. Whereas if I click that button there, it's actually embedded in a pop-up window. So again, it's just depending where you actually want them to show. Let me just see if I can do a Padlet. As I know you're all looking at Padlets as well. So if I take a Padlet board, so I go to my Padlet and I go, and I want to go share or embed. So I want the embed code, embed there, and I copy that code out. And then I go back to my Genially, and then I go, right, I want to go to interactive element. I want to put in, so let's just put a view one in. So we go there, and then we go click, and then we say, right, we want to go to window because it's more content. And you type the code view, and you simply type that in, and you switch that back, and you go save. Right, so you can now say here, add to the, let's add some text in. So we do that. Add to Padlet, and that could perhaps go up there like that alongside it. So we do that. And that goes there like that. I just need to change that. Let's just make that a little bit darker. Like that. And then that goes there like that. And we click preview. Sorry, it's getting a bit mucky, but add to Padlet. I click on that Padlet link there, and that now opens the Padlet board, and they can go straight in and add to that within and without having to come out of the Genially. So it's all actually integrated in. So anything that you've got that's got a QR code, you could actually drop in there quite easily. And it's just a case of playing around to see what other types of elements that you can actually include in that. But it's really easy. It's quite intuitive. But like I said at the beginning, the success of Genially is that you plan beforehand. So get a storyboard. And what I mean by a storyboard is just grab a sheet of A3, do 3 rows and put boxes in as if you're creating a little movie script, and think about the story that you actually want to do in each one. What you can also do, and this just takes a bit of practice, is if you wanted to, instead of doing the sequential in the corner, if you click on one area and you had a, let's say if I go to interactive elements and I go show more, I need a forward arrow. I need an icon for a little forward arrow. So interactive elements. Show more button. So I need an up arrow. Is there an up arrow somewhere? Let's have a look. No, but I think one of those might do. Because I think, if I remember rightly, you can grab... See, there's a little corner that you can turn them. So what you could do is actually have little tours on here. So just by doing a little button here, if you walked into the library and took a lot of photographs, what you then do is put your photographs in, but that button would then take them to the next part of the library, almost a bit like a street view in terms of come this way, follow this direction. So you can move away sequentially and actually let them choose their own paths and explore the library themselves, just actually by setting some direction in. But again, that's where the importance of the storyboard comes in, because you need to have that route through and what you want to talk about at different points. But as long as you get the planning right to start with, actually everything else beyond that is really easy to use. The best thing you can do is just have a very simple play to start with and see what you can come up with. My advice, though, would be that if a few of you are thinking of doing it, perhaps adopt the same font and colour palette throughout. So it looks like they've all been created from the same style sheet. perhaps look at the font family for the university and also the font colours and use that. So they all look like they've been Portsmouth branded as well. If you edited the back image, you could perhaps also have the University of Portsmouth logo at the top. So it was branded all the way through. So it's a case of using Genially, but perhaps using PowerPoint to generate all your images or whatever you guys are used to actually using. This one perhaps was a little bit too small when I put it in, because you can see that the resolution has just dropped out a little bit when you go to preview. So just make sure the quality is there as well. But fundamentally, that's it. Really easy to use. Watch the interactive elements. Make sure you plan to start with your preview buttons at the top, like that, edit. And when you're good to go, all you do is click all set and then just play around with some of the settings. And I think if I remember, when you're all set, you can share. So you can see it as a page, but you've also got in there an insert. So you can share it and you can embed it in something else. Okay, so again, you might be able to play around with putting it in a Nearpod. That's actually not something I've done. So I wonder if that would work. So let's copy that. Let me go to a Nearpod over here. Let's create a session in Nearpod. Let's go add slide. Web content, well, that would put the web page in. If we go to an activity, what do we need? Web content, it would be the web content. Right, so if I go back to my Genially editor and I go share, and that's a web page, click OK, copy that, then go to my Nearpod and put that page in like that. And then I would need to view that. I can't remember. We view that, preview. I wonder if that's going to work. Click here to open the web page. There you go. So there's your Genially, but we've created it and it's going to be accessed from within your Nearpod. So it does work. You can start linking them all together. Okay, guys, hope that helps. Carry on. You're doing some great stuff. Again, we're all here to help. Leslie Ann's got the contact details of people in TEL that will be able to help you if you get into trouble. But again, just be wary of not being technology-led. Think about what you're actually trying to do first. And then it's about finding the right types of technology to actually go with it. So I hope that video helps. Best of luck. We're here to help.